welcome to another edition of Friday Fun Day. My name's Jana Williams, and I am an avid stamper, a fan of rubber stamping, and I am a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and I'm going to show you my information here. You can shop with me at janawilliams.stampinup.net. I couldn't fit it all on one line, but it all goes on one line. And this is my host code for the month of March. Now this will end, I've never pulled my little February calendar page off. I guess I haven't been needing to look at my calendar. So I will end that code on March 30th. Okay, so if you shop with me and spend under $150, please use this code. Also, if you shop with me and spend $50 before shipping, taxes, and that kind of stuff, I do send you a little thank you gift the following month. But you do need to put this code in at checkout. There's a place to put it. You'll also find this code on the landing page when you get to my shopping site. So the first page that comes up, if you scroll down just a bit, you will find what the current code is for that particular month, okay? All right. So I'm going to be doing another cute card today using the Easter Bunny stamp set. I think this is just a really versatile, cute stamp set that you can use for far more than just Easter things. And you will find this in the current mini catalog if you have a catalog, or you can find it on my shopping site. Hi Angela, happy Friday. Oh, I guess I should bring my video up so I can see it on my iPad. I just happened to glance up and see your comment there on my phone. Okay, so I just about got it. There we are. All right. Okay, so I'm also using today this die here. This is from the Picture This die set, and there's two dies in this set, the one with circles and the one with rectangles. And when you use this die, it has the double stitching lines, so they'll be stitching on the negative and positive sides of whatever you want to use. So if you wanted to use like the frame, they'll be stitching. If you wanted to just cut out these little circles and have those to use, they'll be stitching on that. And same with this one. And I'm going to use the circle one today, as well as the rectangle stitched framelit dies, and you get a whole bunch of them in this set, and I'm using the biggest one of those. But for now, I'm going to do some coloring, and since this stamp set doesn't come with dies, I went ahead and I stamped out all the images that I wanted to use, and I think there's some extras in here as well. This one's not quite back in its little, after I cut these out, I save the part that they cut out from and put them back in there like a little puzzle. It just makes it a little bit easier for me when I'm coloring up the images. So anyway, I stamped them out onto my paper, and then I ran them through my brother's Scan and Cut and let that do all the fussy cutting for me, since I'm not a big fan, hi Marianne, of fussy cutting. So that is a really nice tool thing to have, piece of equipment, whatever you want to call it, for all of the stamps we have that don't have dies. And I have a ton of those kinds of stamps because I've been collecting stamps since the 80s. And so, of course, back then, none of the stamp designs came with dies. Okay, so I need to order myself another set of the smoky slate because this one is getting down to the last bit of ink in there. But so I've stamped this all out on white, and then I'm just going, I want my bunnies to be white. So I'm just gonna go around the outside here of them with this smoky slate and just do a little bit of coloring, nothing fancy at all, just a little bit of outlining and blending that out with my blender. And not the way I'm making this card today, the whole bunny is not going to show, but since I'm doing such a little bit of coloring, I'm going to go ahead and color the whole part of the bunny that I want to, because that way if I didn't color an area and then it ended up showing, you know, I wouldn't be very happy about that. So this won't take very long anyway. So how is everybody doing today? We had a little emergency with our little Chihuahua Todd on Monday. He had his vaccinations. He had a rabies vaccination and distemper. And I think this might be his only second time he's had those. He's 4, but now they give him those shots that last for, you know, like 3 years or whatever. So he had him, you know, he's up to date. He was up to date going into these vaccinations. But anyway, he got his shots around 3:30 in the afternoon. And at 10 minutes till 10 that evening, he jumped down off my lap, and I thought he went out and got a drink of water. And when he came back into the living room, he jumped up on the couch, and I saw that he was rubbing his face back and forth, and which is not like him to do. And then he started pawing and scratching at his face, both sides of his face. And so I called his name, and when he looked up, I could see his face was all swelling up. Well, I freaked out. I totally panicked. We live in a very small town here on the Oregon coast, and we used to have on-call vets here, but not anymore. They don't do on-call, nor do we have an emergency vet. So to get any kind of vet help after hours, we have to drive a good hour away to another town. And that's exactly what ended up happening. I called our vet's office, and that was the instructions that it gave, was to call the emergency vet in the other town. So then I was really panicking. I called them, and they said to give him, okay, I'm going to use light balmy blue and just do a little coloring on the eyes. Give him Benadryl, which we didn't have, and then to head over to their office. Keep in mind what time it was at night. It was like 10 o'clock then, and so we had to first go find the kind of Benadryl. And then she's telling me, you know, I can give him, this is like flirty flamingo. I can give him, he weighs about 6 pounds, 6.5 pounds, that I could give him 1 milligram or whatever it is of Benadryl per pound. And like I said, I was panicking and freaking out, and I said, just tell me how much of a pill I can give him. And so she then figured it out and said I could give him 1/4 of a pill. So I had pill splitter. I had enough wits about myself to grab that before we headed out. And I had some pill pockets. Well, we had to get gas in our car. And went to 2 different stores to find the kind of Benadryl, and I had to get name brand, she said, because some of the other off-brands will put other things in with it that the dogs can't have, like Tylenol. So I had to go to 2 different stores, fortunately, that were open here in our town, to find Benadryl that I could split. And so after we did that, we got on our way. And of course, it was foggy. We live here on the coast, and it wasn't foggy here, but it was foggy along the way. So I'm just taking my blender pen now and blending out this gray so that it's not such a stark line. And so I'm trying to give Todd that pill, and he doesn't like riding in the car, for one thing. And we have these little car seats for both of our Chihuahuas that we put them in when we travel, but because of what was going on with him and I wanted to be able to see how he was doing, I had him on my lap. And he would not take the pill, not even with the yummy pill pocket stuff that they usually like. So I ended up having to shove that down his throat, which wasn't fun for him or me. And finally got it in him. And so by the time we got to the other town, it was 10 after 11. And they're using the whole COVID protocol still, where you pull up, you have to call inside on the phone, and then you have to wait in your car. So we did that, and they came out and got him. And then they call you and let you know what's going on. Oh, and by the way, before we ever left here, when we first called them on the phone and they were giving us directions how to get there and everything, they told us it would be between $700 and $1,400. So the first thing they did was do an ultrasound of his gallbladder, because they said that dogs, unlike us, who, when we have an allergic response, it's like our airways, or, well, I don't know. We respond differently in our body to an allergic thing than dogs do. Theirs goes through like their digestive system and stuff, I guess. But, you know, it does make their face swell up, and if it cuts their breathing off, that's when it's really, really dangerous. Because what I was told before, we had a doxy that had this happen once. And what I was told back then was that dogs don't really breathe through their mouth. So if their face swells up and cuts off the breathing through their nose, that's really bad. So that was why I was panicking so much, because of his face swelling. So anyway, everything was fine with his gallbladder, and it wasn't, and he didn't have hives, she said. So what they did was gave him a stronger shot of something that is like similar to Benadryl. They also gave him a shot of some sort of steroid. They gave him a shot of some kind of anti-nausea, anti-diarrheal medication. And let's see, what's it? Oh, and fluids. They gave him fluids. And they said they would want to keep an eye on him for 3 to 4 hours. And we had to wait in our car, and the temperatures were like in the 30s. So that was our night, Monday night. We got back home finally after 4 o'clock, and there was one, and he was doing okay. Most of the swelling had gone down except on the right side of his face. It was still a little swollen on the right side of his face. And that, for whatever reason, did not completely go away until about Tuesday night. And now he's doing just fine. But so when they told us that, we had to wait around that it was going to be 3 to 4 hours, and my husband was needing some water, and so I said, okay, well, is it all right if we, go find a store or whatever and find some water? Well, it was, late at night, and even in that town, most everything was shut up, and we finally found an open convenience type store, and he found some water. They did let us come into the vet office to use their restroom, which was nice because he was trying to find a restroom to use too, and we weren't having any luck. And so before we left there to go look for water, well, we left and then we had to come back because they called us on the phone and said we needed to come in and make a deposit. And I said, okay, well, we've already left, but we will turn around and come back. So that's what we did. And I went in, and the deposit was $260 some. And so at the end of the whole ordeal, when I went into, when they let me come in to get Todd and settle up, and after I went in to get him, even, of course, they were dealing with some other pet emergencies too, but I sat in there for probably 45 minutes, which they let me sit in there then, so I'm not sure why we couldn't have just come in there the whole time, but whatever. It was a really big lobby and very nice in there, and the seating was all like kind of separated out so you could sit away from other people. But whatever, that was their rules. Anyway, they didn't charge us anymore, so that was all we ended up having to pay, so that was lucky. Okay, so sorry about the long story, but there you have it. I'm going to color one of these little birdies up, and I'm going to color it with the light So Saffron. And so, yeah, Todd is doing fine. And what I figured out from the whole thing is that with either of our dogs, they will be getting a Benadryl before they have any vaccinations in the future. And we will separate the vaccinations out so that they only get one per visit. So if we have to go back in a few more days to get like their second shot of whatever, then that's what we'll do. All right, so I went back and did a little shading with Light Mango Melody on the little birdie. And then let me take my little bunnies out. Aren't these so cute? I just love these little bunnies. Yeah, I definitely need a new set of the smoky slate pens, and I need to get myself a couple new blenders because it's going dry too. I've used them a lot. So we're going to have some new colors. I know I mentioned that before. I'm so excited. As demonstrators, we get to see a preview of the new upcoming annual catalog at the end of this month. So I'm excited about that. And there's going to be the new color, new end colors, but also new colors in, you know, just the regular color sets. They're bringing back, I know they're bringing back peacock feathers or whatever it's called. I have it here somewhere, which is a really pretty color. Oh, there it is. Pretty peacock. Okay, so I colored the carrots there with light pumpkin pie, and I'm going to just do a tad bit of shading here with the dark pumpkin pie. It's a good carrot color. I'm also going to keep Benadryl on hand. And you know, I did that with our doxies because we had the one have the same thing happen. But all I remember at that time, we had a vet on call at that time, and all I remember them doing was having me give her Benadryl. And I kind of thought that's what would happen this time, but it wasn't. So, but our dogs are tiny, being Chihuahuas, and they're both pretty small, so. So I'm using Granny Apple Green here to color the carrot tops. Mary Ann, she's babysitting her son's dog for 8 days. Oh dear. Today's day 1 and she's gone on the carpet twice and outside twice. She's old. Oh, I know. It's a struggle, isn't it, when they get old, and poor things. Plus, with their with the people that they're used to being there all the time being gone, then, you know, they're upset and it makes it hard on them. All right, gonna color up these Easter eggs. I'm using the, what am I using? Dark Balmy Blue. I think I actually wanted to use the light, but I set it to the side, and that's okay. I should just keep them all right here and in front of me. Okay, so I'm using the light Flirty Flamingo to make this pink and blue polka dotted Easter egg. They're lucky to have you, Mary Ann, to have family to come and watch their fur baby for them. We have a friend that does that for us, and it's just, you know, it's like leaving your kids. It's gives you a sense of relief to have somebody that you trust take care of your fur babies for you. Okay, so I'm going to use light and dark Highland Heather on this egg. I went back over the polka dots on that one I just colored with the lighter balmy blue to lighten those spots up just a touch. And then I'm just going to go over the lines with the dark. And the Scan and Cut did cut these out a little bit wonky here. You can see what it did there, because that's how, I don't know why it cut that little weird space out, but it's okay. I will be overlapping them anyway, so it's not going to be a problemo. So there's that, and then let me just color this egg. I can pull it up there, and I'm going to do it with Granny Apple Green. Can I ask why you cut the images with the Scan and Cut? Okay, the reason why I do that, and welcome, hello, is because I would rather just stamp them and cut them before I color them, because if, for say, there was an issue with your Scan and Cut and your paper came loose from the mat or something like that, I wouldn't want to spend all the time coloring it and then have my machine mess it up. I'd rather cut them and then color them, if that makes sense. My mat is, I need to buy some extra mats for it, but my mat is not real sticky anymore, so I have to hold my paper down with tape just to be on the safe side, like this removable tape. Oh, sorry, I get into coloring and then I forget to talk. This color is Light Tahitian Tide. And so that's why I do that. I have colored and then cut out before, but yeah, it scares me a little bit. I just don't want to put in all that effort and have it be ruined. Okay, I'm going to use that Tahitian Tide again and do a little bit of the spots on the butterfly here. Maybe down here. Going back to Light Mango Melody to color this butterfly. But you can totally color it first and then cut out. It's just your comfort level with, you know, your machine. And if my mat was good and sticky, I probably wouldn't worry about it at all. And I think I'm going to come in with my orange and do those other two dots there. There we go. All right. Okay, now I can bring in the rest of my parts and pieces. Look what I got, you guys. Remember me saying that I missed out on this paper that I love? It was from the Celebration catalog, and I was wrong. It wasn't, you couldn't get this with $50, but because it was a big pack, you could get it with $100. And $100 order. And my upline heard me say that, and when she had a card making thing at her house on Monday, and she had a stack of paper from that pad for me, or from that package, and so I thought that was so sweet of her. I said, did you hear me say that I was really sad that I missed out on that paper? She said yes, and So now I have some of it. Okay, so I'm attaching the patterned paper to a piece of, what color did I use here? Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to put the rectangle on here. And I'm kind of trying to line it up a little bit so that it's not wonky on the paper, since there's lines and things. Now I might not want that there, we'll see. Okay, and then I'm going to line, you can put this however you want. So I know that I want to line it up this way, and that is not going to work being in that spot. So let's see here. Oh, pixie spray. All right, I don't have any of that, but I will certainly look for it. Do they have it like at scrapbook.com or something? I will definitely look for that. I did clean my mat with this squeaky clean matte mist from Brutus Monroe, because I have this little they came out with a sticky mat. Where is it? Right here. This stick and stamp mat that you can, you know, have to, if you're stenciling or, you know, whatever you want to use it for. And then you clean this mat off with this stuff, and it works like a charm. And I thought, so why can't I use it on my mat for my scan and cut? It's the same sort of deal. So I did, and it really works good to clean off that little bit of leftover, you know, paper, fiber and stuff like that. And then you let it dry, and it brings the sticky back. So I don't know that it brings it back 100% on the scan and cut mat, but it does, you know, clean it up and make it, you know, it does help. So I'm going to, what I should do is see if they sell that cleaner in a bigger bottle. But I do want to buy another mat to have. Mine's got places where it's been cut all the way through and stuff on it. All right, so I've got my dies on there. I'm going to run this through my machine real quick. Let's see, did it cut all the way through? You know what? I'm going to just take a one more swipe through. Okay, pixie spray. I will definitely pick up some of that. Thank you for that tip. Hello, Gloria. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Okay. And is it, tell me again, is it Alex or Alec? I'm trying to get it down, you guys, get everybody's names down. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pop the big circles out because my bunnies are going to be coming through the circles. Now, don't get rid of these because you can keep these for other projects. And I made my first card with this other colorway of this paper. So I've got all these cute circles now that I can do something with, and I think it would be really cute to combine the colors together. So I'll have to come up with a project for those. Alex, okay, thank you. All right, so then the little ones I'm not going to take out, but I did want to just do, since this one's kind of coming out, I wanted to see if I want to turn them over to the solid. Nope. I like it better with the, now I have to line that back up. There we go. I don't want it to be wonky, so I want to make sure I get it lined up just right. Okay, so now then, let me get some glue and the bunnies. And I think I'll do this bunny first. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on his front foot here and some glue up here. And then I am going to put him coming out of this hole. I liked his little front feet being up on the edge like that. I thought that was kind of cute. All right, and then this bunny is going to go up there. I think I'll save him for last. This bunny's going to be popping up out of that bottom hole. I'm going to have him positioned so he's kind of looking up towards that bunny. This bunny's looking up towards this one. So cute. Oh my goodness. All right, so I just need to be putting a little bit of glue up here. And then I'm going to have to snip off. I'm going to have to do a little bit of amputation. Ouch. Okay. All right, so cute. They're all popped out of their holes there. Now then, I need to get my adhesive on here. I want to make sure I go over these little circles that I didn't pop out because I don't want them falling out. I'm just going to put some extra adhesive right in there. Okay. I think before I put that down, I just need to crease my card a little bit better here. This is one of my favorite tools in my craft room, I have to say. Okay. There we go. So cute. All right. Now, for whatever reason, I chose not to pop anything up on this card, really. I'm going to put the little bird in this dot up here. I love these little carrots. I think they are stinking cute. So there are those. Get the butterfly on here. Thank you so much. All right, butterfly. And then the eggs. And I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off where that cut a little wonky. So no biggie. And this one doesn't matter because I'm going to overlap those two over this one. There we go. And then I've got a strip of this for the inside here. And I still have to stamp my greeting on the front. So there's the inside. And then I'm just going to grab my little Misty here. And then from the stamp set, I'm going to get out the Happy Easter. And it fits just perfectly down here in the corner. Let me get over it and see if it looks like I've got it semi-straight. All right, so we're going to go with that right there. And let me grab my black. I'm going to do it one more time. So cute. All right, I'm going to wipe that stamp off real quick. And then I will also show you the first one because I did it with a different color. So it's cute too. Oh, I couldn't figure out how come I wasn't getting that on there right because I was putting it on upside down. Okay, what do you think? I think it turned out so cute, you guys. I like it. And here is the other one. So which color do you like best? This I did with fresh freesia to go along with those colors, and then this was the Coastal Cabana. So I didn't want the bird. I did the bird blue there. I didn't want him to get lost in the colors over here, so that's why I did him in yellow. And everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah. So cute. Okay, I'm grabbing my little book. And where did we leave off? We left off with this story because the travel one, because I didn't want to read it last time because it was too long. Okay. A Child's Garden of Verses. Not that we're children, but we're all kids at heart. I should like to rise and go where the golden apples grow, where below another sky parrot islands anchored lie, and watched by cockatoos and goats, lonely Crusoes building boats, where in sunshine reaching out, eastern cities miles about, are with mosque and what is that word? I told you guys there's words in here sometimes. I don't know. Are with mosque and minaret, I'm going to say, since this word is set, among sandy gardens set. And the rich goods from near and far hang for sale in the bazaar, where the great wall around China goes, and on one side the desert blows. And with bell and voice and drum, cities on the other hum, where are forests hot as fire, white as England, tall as a spire, full of apes and coconuts and the Negro hunters' huts, where the naughty crocodile lies and blinks in the Nile, and the red flamingo flies hunting fish before his eyes, where in jungles near and far man-devouring tigers are, lying close and giving ear, lest the hunt be drawing near, or a comer by be seen swinging in a, here we go, palanquin, I don't know, where among the desert sands some deserted city stands, all its children sweep and prince, grown to manhood ages since, not a foot in street or house, not a stir of child or mouse, and when kindly falls the night, in all the town no spark of light. There I'll come when I'm a man, with a camel caravan, light a fire in the gloom of some dusty dining room, see the pictures on the walls, heroes, fights, and festivals, and in a corner find the toys of the old Egyptian boys. This one's called Singing. Of speckled eggs the birdie sings, and nests among the trees. The sailor sings of ropes and things, in ships upon the seas. The children sing in far Japan, the children sing in Spain. The organ with the organ man is singing in the rain. And then I'm going to read one last one, looking forward. When I am grown to man's estate, I shall be very proud and great, and tell the other girls and boys not to meddle with my toys. Yes, don't play with my toys and don't mess with my craft stuff. Okay, so this is the information on this book. I think I read, yeah, he wrote Treasure Island. This guy did. So he also wrote Kidnapped and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and New Arabian Nights. So yeah, I feel kind of silly when I don't know the words, but hey, it is what it is. All right. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. Yeah, you, Patty, you have this little book. I have a very small collection of tiny books. I think they're so cute. And I don't know that I've ever read any of them. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring them out and read them with you guys. So when this one's over, I'll grab a different one. And maybe I'll know all the words in it. We shall see. And anyway, you guys have a fabulous weekend. I do have a bunch of cards to show tomorrow for Saturday morning makes. So come back when you can and watch that video. I went to that card making thing on Monday and we did some cards there that were fun and turned out really pretty floral stuff. So anyway, have a fabulous weekend and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.